Nigga swine. Oh, let me make sure this shit's straight. I know it be on, but it don't really be on for real. Yeah, it's straight. No, it be on. I hear too much of myself. You can now put people in timeout ranging from 10 seconds. I don't think nobody coming no way. What's up, y'all? Shit not on? Oh, y'all niggas can hear me. What is this, like, week, I forgot what week it was. I think it's like week 7? Yeah, it's week 7. It's week 7. Jags and the Saints played last night. This weekend, we got some games for real, except for that 4 o'clock window. I'm not gonna lie, we got that game. That game not bad. That game not bad. But specifically, let's talk about the game last night. I get you. I get it was a decent game. It was a decent game. The Saints just couldn't capitalize on their turnovers. And what I was really looking at last night was Travis Etienne doing because he was on my team. I ain't gonna lie, he was on my fantasy team, and I didn't care who won or lost. Truthfully, I just wanted to win this game because I'm already on a 4 game winning streak. So I couldn't give less of a yeah. So when Travis hit those 2 touchdowns, I was just hating on Michael Thomas because Michael Thomas was on the other squad. Yeah, I couldn't care less of a fuck what happened, but I couldn't give less of a fuck. The But last night they couldn't stop turning the ball over. Whether if it was self inflicted or if it was the Saints guy, I ain't gonna lie, that was smart. That was smart. Using a gunner, throwing them right into the catch returner, and then it bounced off, and then y'all got a live ball. That was smart. Y'all ain't capitalized with a touchdown off of that one. But this is the thing about the NFL. The NFL is so well, and the competition is so good. Not to say the Saints were that bad. It's just to say they were in the game the whole time. It's not like as if the Saints defense couldn't get a stop. They did. They let up the big play sometimes, but Jacksonville was forced to. I'm not using big words no more. But slowly dissect. Trevor Lawrence was forced to slowly dissect the defense, and they were supposed to drive right through. Um, and the drives took more than about 8 plays on average. They took longer than usual. Now, now that I'm reflecting back on this game, Saints were in it the whole time. They always had their timeouts. They just couldn't come up on the last possession when it mattered most. And the criticism won't really fall on anybody because expectations were low for this one. For this, I'm not gonna lie, the expectations were low for this whole damn division. This division was not meant to be, let me say, playoff ready. They still have the only 0-6 team in it. Uh, Tampa Bay is leading. They're not a bad team. They're not a bad team if Baker Mayfield is actually playing his play for real. If you playing for real, Baker Mayfield getting his. Um, the Atlanta Falcons, they doing they little thing. They inconsistent. They not getting nowhere with Desmond Ritter. I was waiting for them to bench them. I still don't know who the backup quarterback is. They can't be that bad. But man, I guess they're trying to give him. Yeah, they got Taylor Heineke. Come on, man. Damn, they don't even want to give themselves a chance. This shit is crazy to me. Um, but I guess that falls on the critic. I guess that falls on running backs trying to be quarterbacks or whatnot. But looking at this from New Orleans' perspective, they're still in the thick of things because that race is so close. Tampa has 2 games. I mean, it has 2 losses, but they play a divisional opponent coming up this Sunday, and then around that same week, 4 days later, they play the Bills in Buffalo. So they gotta play that could switch real quick. But for the Falcons, they play a divisional opponent in the Buccaneers, so that game is pivotal going later down the stretch. Then they play the Titans in Tennessee. So, it's kind of early to be looking at it, but it's kind of you get to see who everybody really is, and this is really where you start to see everybody separate themselves from the pack. Now, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're at the top of their division, no surprise. They're 5-2. That was a good win. It was a good win for them. It was a good win for them. The Colts losing Anthony Richardson, that's a big blow. I didn't think the Colts were gonna be as decent as they were. I thought they were gonna be in the same spot as Houston, 2-14, but CJ Stroud has showed up, showed out. This week they play they play the Panthers. That's a good matchup. Yeah, we get to see Bryce Young and CJ Stroud in Carolina. That should be a nice one. But Jacksonville doesn't really have much to worry about. They just got to stay out the wild card. Well, got to stay out the 3 spots because they'll be putting themselves at a disadvantage. And in whoever's playing, say if they play like a bad, say if I don't know, Houston somehow way in hell they get up there and get the South. Whoever Jacksonville playing, they not making the Jacksonville not making it out because you got KC, you got Buffalo or the Dolphins, and I, listen, I don't know about the North. The North is so congested. Then you got Baltimore and the Bengals. That's something for real right there. I mean, like you probably not gonna make it out of that. I'm betting on every team other than, but that's not hate. If you're on the road though, that was, I guess it was a good game last night though, 31-24. It was kind of interesting. Um, looking at this weekend's matchups, the one I wanted to point out, of course, it was highlighted Lions and the Ravens. Are the Lions for real? That's what I really want to understand. Are they really for real? I don't think they're not for real. I think they're a playoff team. I came in thinking they were, but they took off and matured way faster than I thought. So they are a better team than I thought they would be. They came out, beat the Chiefs first game. Then they lose to a close overtime game in Detroit against Seattle. But the thing about that one is you're one game. You're Your one game that you lost was an overtime game. Um, they beat the Packers, they beat the Panthers, they beat the Bucks. So we can't say aside from the Chiefs, who have they beaten? Because they have beaten the Chiefs. We got to include the whole picture when we're speaking about it and stay consistent throughout every single team. The the Ravens right here, they go into see. I ain't gonna say it, whatever. Man. Baltimore. They go into Baltimore hoping that they can pull this one out, but I don't think they. I think they can. They have a chance. In all honesty, what's gonna have need to happen is that they're gonna have to be uh out physical the Ravens. But I think this is gonna be one of those games where it's gonna be 24-21. It's gonna be one of those games where every possession matters. It's gonna give a big time game feel. Uh we're gonna respect these two teams by the end of the time we look at it. Because it's gonna be so close that we're gonna look at Detroit. Let's say if Detroit wins, they come and beat Baltimore. Now that's something you gotta watch out for if you Philly or the Niners, because the Lions schedule for the team that they have, they can go on a run. They can go on a run. Whereas looking at Philly schedule, you seen Philly schedule, right? So this is a game where they can prove that they're actually who they say they are. The North is Detroit's to lose. Philly's schedule starting on Sunday is the Dolphins. Then they have a divisional matchup in Washington against the Commanders. Then they go back to Philly to play against the Cowboys. Then they go to Arrowhead to play the Chiefs. Then they play the Bills back in Philly. They stay in Philly to play the Niners. Yeah, that schedule is different. And then not to mention the next game is the Cowboys. Then they play the Seattle Seahawks. So my thing is, I'm not saying this is the NFL. You don't really get a cupcake. I'm not saying this is not difficult, but you don't really get a cupcake game until like week one, two, three, week 16. Yeah, that's ridiculous. You don't get a cupcake game until Christmas. That's your gift. You get a cupcake game for Christmas. Ain't that something? Uh, it'll be hard for difficult for Philly to actually rebound from it. They had they had one of the easier schedules last year, and that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, they had an easier schedule. Mm, they did what they had with it. They were dominant with it. Now they got to play more of the tougher teams since they were at the top dog of their division, and now they got to play the AFC East, which I believe to be the best division in the AFC by far, and maybe across the whole league. Very interesting. But then you look at the Niners schedule, which the Lions can also be contending with. They play the Vikings, playing with in Minnesota without Justin Jefferson. That's the Vikings back are against the wall. They got yeah, yeah. and then the Niners suffering the injuries they have. To be honest, the NFC is wide open. It's not wide open. It's like 3 teams, 3, 4 teams you can argue for, but 3 legit teams, yeah, yeah. And I'm saying the Lions can magnify it with that and then capitalize on the schedule they've been given. You play who's in front of you. The Niners' next games are uh they play the Vikings, then they play the Bengals at home, then they play the Jaguars, the Bucks, the Seahawks, and the Eagles. So it's not too easy. It's just a bunch of you could say mid to above average teams, but Cincinnati is getting their groove, finishing out this season. They're getting better and better. Now let's see if Baltimore wins. Now, if Baltimore was to win, well, the stakes are higher for Baltimore. If we're looking at this from a holistic point of view, I lied, I lied, I lied. They nah. Baltimore could rebound, and then they'll have a chance to play the Bengals, who I think is more of a contender for their AFC North title. Pittsburgh is waiting for the TJ Watt touchdown and shit, and their schedule gets a little easier. Well, maybe because I'm desensitized to it, but I think they can Ravens can lose to any of these teams aside from the Cardinals. So I think all these games are going to be competitive with the Ravens going on from here on out. That's going to get them ready for the playoffs. Insight. In all honesty, this game is going to be something to watch out for. I'm gonna see my boy Zay out there. Zay Flowers. He on my team, my fantasy team. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm watching this game for fantasy points. I ain't gonna hold you, man. And it's the one that's on. Mark Andrews too. I need him to show up and show out. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sam Laporta. I need him to show up and show out. And Justin Tucker. Oh my goodness, all my players are on one team. I got 4 players playing in one game. That sucks. But that's gonna be an actual battle. My predictions for this one is gonna be a 24-27 game. I'm gonna have the Ravens pulling out of it. I think they're gonna pull up just short. Justin Tucker gonna hit it like a long field goal. I think it'll be close. I really do. Another game, let's say in that 425 window, Chargers and the Chiefs. We seen Justin Herbert. Yeah, he's special. He's good, but he he can't close games. He can't close games. That's something that we've seen him be unable to do over time and time over again. And he has a multitude of weapons at his disposal. He has all-star talent in Austin Eckler at the running back position. He has Keenan Allen. I know Mike Williams went down. He continues to go down, and I see that. But man, the way you would think he could pull out, the way you think, the way they speak about him, you would think he could pull out a victory, but I don't see him able. It's the amount of interceptions and turnovers that he does on the final play of the drive. I've seen people on a consistent basis call out that he's gonna throw an interception and that they bet on him. They bet on the team that's gonna go up. If this team goes up and scores, and then they leave a touchdown score or a three-point lead, he's not able to rebound from it. This is this is this is something that most people don't even point out at all. Justin Herbert is he at first he has great numbers. He has a great throw. He has a great arm, of course, but we look at the games that he previously played against the Chargers. Chargers versus Dolphins, first game of the week. They were dueling Tua and Justin Herbert. They're closely compared as usual. But the first game he wasn't. First game he was dealing and willing. Let's get it. Now it came down. Tua comes in, scrambles, throws a deep one, drops it in the breadbasket of Tyreek Hill between the DB and the safety right there in his hands. Beautifully drops it down, and then he goes down and scores that touchdown and the phenomenal throw to Tyreek. So now, Herbert, it's your time to respond. They go three and out. And yeah, that was due to the sacks and the pressure. But the way y'all speak about him able to extend the play, come on, my boy. Uh, that Titans game was a tough one to lose. The crazy part is they both had opportunities. If I'm not mistaken, they both had opportunities. Let me revise and recheck. They both had opportunities, correct? Uh, I'm not gonna say they did, but I believe they both had opportunities because you can't win with a field goal. Yeah. So they both had opportunities, didn't pull it out. Uh the Vikings, they came in and beat them. That was a big win. But all of these games have been close. They beat the Chargers, the divisional opponent. And then the Cowboys, they he throws a pick the last minute. He just throws a pick. So time and time again, you have these opportunities to go down on the field and you spoil them. In all honesty, I think this just shows the testament. This is a testament to that saying that first impressions last a lifetime. And of course, we came here and we watched him the first time. Everybody was just trying to put Herbert over Tua at first, and it's really because you got to see him first, and his first impression was so well. Keep in mind that defense didn't plan for Herbert the first time he played. They planned for Geno Smith, right? And Geno Smith couldn't play. Herbert came in, he wheeled and dealed. He throw a couple throws like he doesn't. I mean, we gotta like you know, just because it looks nice doesn't mean that it's great. The Chiefs, on the other hand, I think I don't know how the hell they're 5-1. Let me be honest, man. They're a great team. I know they're the Super Bowl champs. Chelsea has been injured That's a testament to Patrick Mahomes, man. All of these games, aside from I can't say that. The majority of these games were close, and the Chiefs could have lost. So I say that to say this: will Justin Herbert have another chance or another opportunity to bring his team back down a score in order to win and capitalize on top of this? So I look at this game as an opportunity for Justin Herbert to prove the naysayers wrong, to prove that he is clutch, that he has the clutch gene. I still think he gonna throw another interception. I'm not no hater or nothing, man, but he gotta prove me wrong. If he do get an, if he do get one, I'll prove and say I'm. Nah, he got to do that multiple times because he's thrown multiple interceptions. Going to that later window, the 8:20 game on NBC, the Dolphins versus the Eagles. This one is in Philadelphia at Lincoln Field. This one right here, this is a matchup. They say it's speed versus power. Man, this one gonna be one. This is gonna be one of the ones. Dolphins haven't been able to beat. I mean, they have been able to beat everybody, but the criticism around their franchise is that they haven't been able to beat somebody that is substantial on the road, somebody that is substantially better, or they're a household name that is known as that they're way better than. So yeah, they have done it at home, but the narrative around them is that they can't win on the road against a great team. This is a chance for them to prove everybody else wrong. And I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I was gonna say the Chargers are a good team, but if I look at their schedule, the Chargers have been mediocre over the course of the years. Of course, the Patriots are currently 1-5. They got a chance. They got a point, but the Dolphins are beating who they're supposed to beat. They put up 70 on the Broncos, and then played an abysmal game, 48-20. That game was chosen by was two possessions out of reach. That whole most games played by great teams are two possessions. So I'm not gonna let that score fool me because I was watching that game. I was watching that game close. That game could have easily been put in a position for it to be very close. The Giants, they should have kept Smith in. I gotta get my licks in, man. I ain't gonna lie. Daniel Jones, man, that's for another day. It's another day. They gotta keep Geno Smith in, but boy, they handle business. They beat him by 15, two scores. Uh, the Panthers, they beat them after being down 14 and went on a 42-7 run, but the defense didn't let up a touchdown. The backup quarterback, Mike White, no credit, threw to threw an interception, and then they took it back for 6. That just shows. I guess that shows that everybody can't play in that offense. But the Eagles, let's see. This is a big game for both teams. Now analyzing the Eagles have been in close games all year long, and this is the same criticism that we give to the Chiefs. But they've been winning these close games. They've been punching it out. Now, when you play as a better opponent, I want to see how that plays out. Now they played a good defense in the Jets last week. That's their first loss. They they had that game. They had that game, and that's a fact. They had that game. That was theirs to win, but the Jets could have won either. Won it easily as well. Not their fault. Wow, they had that game bad. They had it. In my opinion, I'm not a coach to run that rock. Your defense playing phenomenal. I'm gonna put the ball in Zach Wilson's hands and let him ride. Let him rock. Let Zach Wilson get a game-winning touchdown or a field goal. Let him push the ball down the field. Now it was one of those games where the refs were kind of like, yeah, yeah. So I explain the concerns and whatnot. I'm putting that ball in Zach Wilson's hands. They played a close game against the Patriots, which is, you know, makes sense. Bill Belichick, I totally respect his coach. He's a great coach. He's a great coach. So great coaches put their teams in positions to win. Uh, they played the Vikings on a Sunday night. Kirk Cousins was going off that night. So was JJ. I ain't gonna hold you. That was a good night for anybody who liked Kirk Cousins, because I was going against Kirk Cousins in my fantasy league, and I seen the score the way it was. I thought they, he ran the ball. I thought Madison got some touchdowns and whatnot. I thought, nah, Kirk threw for everything. And then I seen DeAndre Swift get it. I'm getting blown out, boy, but I'm getting destroyed. Yeah, yeah. That's bad memories. Going on to the Bucks week, Buccaneers. And looking back at that Monday Night Football game, the Eagles had control the whole way. Not once did I think the Buccaneers would come back, but they could have. But the Eagles had dominance over that whole game. The Commanders are here. Divisional game went to overtime. Of course, those divisional games are going to be close. Close. The Eagles and Rams game, same effect. But when you play a team that can score, I think this relies on it heavily relies on the defense as well. On both defenses, you got to look at both defenses. Usually is usually is Miami's offense versus someone's defense, so like how they painted it against Miami's offense versus the Bills defense. This is Miami's offense versus the Eagles defense. Of course, I think it's for Miami. It's more of is it it's the Eagles offense versus the Dolphins defense, because the Dolphins defense hasn't been able to stop the run. That's their play style though. Their play style is to bend not break and then hold you to a field goal, which makes sense because when you're able to put up the points that you do, I'm bending not breaking. But in possessions or in games like this, there are a limited amount of possess. There's either one or two things. There's under 12 possessions per team. Well, plus there's under 12 possessions in this game, or it's gonna be a bunch of three and outs, a defensive battle. But I don't see that happening. I don't see that happen. I think it's gonna be a closer game. Let me see. Let me see if I can find their red zone numbers, because that's what's gonna be actually something for the Eagles to benefit from. They're a bend don't break defensive play style. They want you to play conservative all day, and when you get impatient and then you try to force something there, it gets tipped up in the air. and then it gets popped out. It gets intercepted. That's their play style. You seen Ramsey playing in the practice. I got the Dolphins winning this one by 10, a 34-24 game. Simply because I think the Dolphins offense is going to put up what they put up. I don't know if the Eagles offense is going to be able to do what they do. Now, I'm not going to hold you. It's not that I don't think they can score. It's because I don't, it's because I think there's going to be a limited amount of possessions. And I think that the Dolphins are going to capitalize on what possessions they're being given. That's really the reason why yeah, it's really the reason why I think the Dolphins are gonna pull this one out. Uh, those are the three games I wanted to look at though. Low key, low key, low key. Those some nice games. Ain't gonna hold you. Shit, sharing now. Oh my bad. Now I wanted also to talk about this. The NFL is not allowing but encouraging active players participate. Flag football is coming to the Olympics. They fucked it up for the rest of the world. Yeah, we shit. Someone can hey boy shit. We setting records. We setting records. I wanna see let's see, I wanna see 90. 90 to 10, 90 to 15. I wanna see what it would be like to have a Fred Warner on my squad. Well, if he's still in the league, guess I won't know what that means. He might retire before then. What we got? We in 23? That's 5 years. Damn, yo, when I was seeing them San Fran linebackers, motherfucker, that shit. And then this quote tweet right here, low key, that might not be fair. Shout out to the ghetto grunt, man. That's what this. Yeah, yeah, we not running this shit in goddamn Israel. Low key, this sound like a setup. Everybody knows we love our football. Americans love their football. This sound like a fucking setup. Oh my. Yeah, that sounds like a setup. Yeah, that sounds like a damn setup. I guess I could talk about the NBA too. That season coming up soon. Starts on the Tuesday. Is that 5 days? Lakers, Nuggets, Suns, Warriors. Yeah. When you talk about the NBA, you can't really talk about it on a game to game basis. There's probably like 15 games throughout the year you could actually pinpoint and say, "Oh my goodness, I want to watch that." But that's out of like, let me see, 30 times 82. That's out of 960 games. So then percentage wise, 960 times 50%. That's 100. Oh, I'm tripping. Bro, I forgot how to do this. 9, 15% of 9. Wait, I'm tripping. I said, man, I'm getting these numbers from everywhere. 15. Damn, that's 1.656 of these games. So the real premise of the NBA is Lakers fans gonna playing half the year. The Luka gonna hit some crazy shit. I'm gonna say Jimmy Butler not gonna try at all until he want to play for real. I'm not talking about that Dame situation because I'm still pissed about it. Shit hurt. Shit hurt. He really embraced them. Damn man. Joe Cronin really took the bad deal. I get passionate about this, man. My bad. Joe Cronin really took the worst deal in order to fuck us over. Like, what do we do? You listen to one offer and it's a hell. And then he got the nerve to ask for fucking Bam Adebayo. You crazy son of a bitch. It's you. It's you. What? Man, what crack? Huh? That's that's some shit right there. Oh, Golden State Warriors, man. They gonna work out really well. And I've been saying this from the jump. Stephen Curry is not a point guard. He is a shooting guard. But because there is nobody else that could play point guard at the position, they put him at point guard, and he could. It's not like he can't play point guard. I'm saying he's a better shooter, which I slot him at the shooting guard position. Reason why I slot him at the shooting guard position, he's a shooting guard. Klay Thompson, a shooting guard. This is truly positionless basketball. And now you bring in Chris Paul, and which is a flop. I mean, a a facilitator at the point guard position. Now all Curry got to do is focus on shooting. If he's not playing bench minutes, he's playing with the bench players. They got Draymond who would do the same. Come on now. Warriors are gonna do phenomenal. Jonathan Kaminga got it. He's good, but he gotta get healthy, my boy. He good, but he gotta get healthy. That's why Kevin Looney been stealing his minutes. They still got Andrew Wiggins. Oh my goodness. And he came back like he ain't missed a beat. This this man right here, this Andrew Wiggins on the timeline. Boston. Boston, listen, man. I don't see how you can fuck it up this year. You, I don't see how y'all can mess it up this year. Um, I could understand when y'all was losing to Jimmy Butler. He's a freak of nature. I really do think he's MJ's son. He's different. Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, like the way y'all hyped up to be, y'all not what y'all thought y'all. Well, y'all not what I thought y'all was. But if Julius Randle could be able to shoot for the Knicks on the Knicks, Julius Randle could shoot. They got that. They got that for real. Cavaliers, they was inexperienced and couldn't handle the pressure at the moment in time. Cause how the fuck you losing 5 against the Knicks? Like we lost. We won in 6. Well, we really should have swept them. I ain't gonna lie. It was a little bit of rough play and someone someone kicking someone else in the damn ankle. Thinking this kid side kicking and soccer and shit. Yeah, we won't respect that. Yeah, we won't respect that. Uh, gotta love it. Gotta love it. Favorite player, Kyrie. He playing this year. NBA tournament starts next month. Wonder if Kawhi will be there. I doubt it. Sincerely. Um, I'm gonna say this from the beginning. MVP predictions. Uh, MVP predictions. Giannis. Giannis has no excuses. Giannis has no excuses. The Bucks could afford losing defense if they were just gonna add a perimeter shooter like Dame. That's all I can say. But that's MVP. Defensive player of the year, Bam Adebayo. He's been slept on forever. He really gonna make your fit his presence feel with the blocks. Rookie of the year, Wembanyama, and that's a no brainer. So I'm 3 for 3 already. All right. Coach of the year, who gonna have the best record? 'Cause that's what they give it to. Oh shit, the Kings. They play well. Hmm. Hmm. Let me give it to now, 'cause they call him immature and whatnot, but he gets another year. I forgot who the Bucks coach was. They fired Boyle. Um, yeah, they fired the other one. But whoever that is, because that's who they're gonna give it to. They alternate per conference and whatnot. Uh, Most improved player. Hmm. Oh, Shea gonna have a nice season this year. Gilgis Alexander. Oh, sleeper team. The sleeper team. Thunder. Sleeper team is the Thunder. Sleeper team is the Thunder. And keep that recognized. That the sleeper team is the Thunder. They gonna do what Sacramento did last year, and they might get around. They might get to round two. They might get to round two. That's something I can't deny. They different. Cause Shea can win games on his own. Now he got Chet and them boys, right? Giddy is something. Giddy up. He different, man. He got that. Disappointing team. You gotta have high hopes, I guess. Uh, I'm not gonna say Dallas. I'm gonna say, man, nobody believe in the Knicks for real. I'm gonna say Cleveland or the Bulls, but I'm gonna go with Cleveland. Cleveland's talent is supposed to be able to hit the, the Eastern Conference Finals at least. Niggas ain't supposed to get first rounded. They ain't supposed to get first rounded. Champions out of the West. I'm gonna start, and this is unbiased. I'm gonna get to Golden State Warriors. They're gonna come out the West and out the East. Bucks. Boston. I'm gonna go with the Heat. Maybe it's a little biased, but I'm gonna go with the Heat. I'm gonna go with the Heat. I'm gonna stand on that shit too. I'm gonna go with the Heat. Uh, and Finals MVP Jimmy Butler. Maybe it's a little biased, but I'm gonna go with the Heat. I'm gonna go with the Heat. Maybe it's a little biased. No, we gonna get somebody at the trade deadline. See, y'all thought role players were replaceable. Nah, they not replaceable to y'all. They replaceable to us. Nah. Yeah, get that nigga up out of here. You want to get paid what? Hey, go get your money up there and live like shit with all them taxes up in Cleveland and fucking California. We gonna sign this little nigga that's like, what, 22, 23? We gonna get champagne. We've been developing these niggas. We've been developing your replacements right in front of your eyes. Yeah, get you the fuck up out of here. Not to say you ain't come up big and clutch. You ain't come as big as we needed you to come up, but we appreciate you for it. We got size now too. And I can talk about the NBA too. I can debate whatever. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Real talk. I'm gonna end this one. My voice getting tired. I ain't gonna lie, talking for goddamn what that shit say, 50 damn near 52 minutes. It's tiresome. I don't like talking like all that. I ain't made for that shit. Alright, y'all.